Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Debunked Paranormal. Today we have the candle video from Really Haunted. We're going to see what's really going on here and explore how they could have done this. I think I do know. Actually, I know. Not I think. I know what they did. But I want to see if you will be convinced about my explanations and about my findings. So please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. And remember, can't speak. A like really helps out the channel. So here we go. Let's jump into it. I'm going to show you a series of clips. It's going to be the candle clip and then a couple followed by that. Also of the candle clip, but with a couple of markers. It's going to flash by real quick. So here we go. Enjoy.
Move the candle, you coward. Show me how strong you are.
That's it. Okay, so let's start explaining this because there's a lot going on in here and yeah, I'm just going to jump to it. First couple of markers that we have here. Things that I'm confused by and things that I know what's happening. So the first couple of things that I'm confused by is this top one over here. This one. That seems like it's the hole of his thumb, but if I move this down, it's gonna mess everything up, so it's 278, okay. But his thumbs are up here, so that's where the hole should be. That's something else. That is a glint, probably from this, but it's impossible. Because that's a cotton shirt, it's white, and that is in the shadow of the hand. So the reflection from the candle should not be there, but look what happens to it. Follow that. There it starts moving. It goes towards the hand and it ends up on the hand. There it is on the hand now. Where does that come from? Why is that there? What type of an artifact is that? That's the only thing that throws me off with this one, which I'm not sure why that happens. Because it goes all the way and it lands up there by my mouse cursor. You see it there. It should not be there. Why is that there? That's confusing. But okay, the other ones. Let's look at these ones over here. This one first. Look at that movement. As the candle is moving, that is moving as well. Why is that moving? Is it overlaid clip? 2 clips overlaid? We'll get to that. Now check this one out and this one as well. This one is moving with the candle. Look at that. It's moving with the candle. It should not do that. And then this one here at the back. Look at that weird movement. Tiny movements. Yeah. And then bigger movements. And then there's a shadow that disappears here, but also reappears here. It's very faint, but you can see it. Then down here you have some weird movements happening as well. These ones I'm confused by. Don't know why this is happening, especially that mark over there on the mouse. Don't know why that is happening, but it is. And then you have this one appearing here. Why is that appearing there? Is it because the light is so bright that it just brightens it out and you can't see it? It might be. I don't know. So these ones at the back here, I know what that is. I'm pretty sure that's part of what this one is. And this one could be part of that. Could be part of the same overlay, but I'm not sure about this one. And this one, I have no idea why it's doing that. Why? Because that's on his hand. You should not see the actual flame reflection on his hand. That you shouldn't see that. So that is weird why that is happening. Maybe a byproduct. And then these two down here, I'm not sure why they are happening, and I'll get to why I'm not sure about those ones. So let's go back to the next one, which is happening here. So this is where I know what's happening, and it's part of the other two that was here, and possibly that one. And you can see here is as this is moving, here you have a slight defection happening. And now this is part of a green screen that was masked out. So you can see all of this weird movement here as the candle is moving right here. There's something weird happening there. And I'll explain how that happens. Then you have this big shadow here that appears here. And it appears there as well. I don't know if you guys can see that well enough. And then over here, again, here you have this weird movement, and here as well. This one, although I don't have a marker on it, let's put a marker on it real quick in case you guys miss it. This one is a nice one because that is a typical green screen byproduct happening right there. So yeah, I know how that is made. I'll show you now with a demonstration. But let's first move on to the okay, no, let's show you the demonstration before I show you that. So here's the demonstration. So I brought this green stick in. This is just a line that I brought in to demonstrate why we see those artifacts in the corner, in this corner here specifically. This would be these ones over here. Why we see these markers happening is because they used a green stick. This stick was used to move the candle. A green screen stick. So that's common in film production, where you need something moved and you need to be able to key out something. You'll use a green stick or a blue stick or a red stick, depending on your background. Now I'm just going to say green screen stick. It might be blue screen because he's doing night mode, so it is green. So he might do, instead of a green stick, he'll do a blue or a red stick. But I think he did a green stick, and that's why we see most of the artifact happening. So he used the green screen stick to move the candle. And you can see that by the artifacting, especially here in the corner, where it would have been keyed out with that movement. And probably someone who was helping him had a green glove on to move that. And so that is why you see all of this artifacting happening here. Now there's other artifacting that's also happening that I can explain. So you will see here on the tips of his fingers, only these tips of his fingers move, they elongate, as you can see there. Now you might say, yeah, that's due to the candle. The light of the candle. I don't think it is, because you also see this movement here. But that is just normal artifacting. But it's very similar to the ones that you get as a byproduct from the green screen byproduct artifacting. It's very similar to that. Now there's a good explanation for that. So especially here where he starts moving, it seems like the part of the countertop is moving with him. It looks like he's taking it with him. Do you see all of that happening? Now that is a common artifact. Now that's also stuff that I look for when I debunk videos. And that's why I say I want context. Meaning I want the footage before it happened and after it happened. Not just a dead stop, because then you can't really debunk that. And why that is important is because if we go, let me just do this real quick. If I go to an earlier point in his video where he's also moving his hand, you'll see the same issue that we just seen now. So there's a big movement there. So you'll see the same thing happening when he moves his hand, and I'll tell you why that happens. Now that's due to camera sensors, right? And the processing power of that camera, the data that it needs to capture and send out. So look there, if I move it back and forth on that frame, do you see over here and over here, it seems like that is moving with it. Now this is when you have a low light situation like you do. He's also using night vision. And then I don't know what camera he uses. So it also depends on the camera, the quality of the camera. How big is that sensor? How much light can it take in? Does it take in a small amount of light, but it has these nice features like low light shooting capability and night vision. So what happens is you have a static image, which is the table, and then you have a moving image, which is the person. And then when he moves, because his hands are on top of the static image, when he moves, the camera says, there's movement in that static area. We need to capture that and transcribe that. This is what's happening. Let's relay the data. And when that happens, it relays the data as there's a moving image that's moving, but it's not supposed to be moving. And then you have that artifacting happening. So that is why you will see that. And it's very similar to the byproduct that you will get in a green screen. I get those byproducts in my green screens a lot, especially when there's a shadow. Sorry guys, just a quick pause while I'm editing. Seems like my ability to key out green screen is better than the average Joe because there's no shadow where I point out a shadow, even though there is one. But the artifacting is happening to my left side. Like there's a shadow now. So this area should be artifacting. Excuse me. So it's the same artifacting that happens that you would get on a green screen. And that's why I know for a fact this is how he faked his video with a green stick, because of the artifacting that we see here, because it is very similar to all of the other other artifacting that we see in similar situations. Where green screen is being used. Now, I do have proof that he's using a green screen because in this same video, at the end, I don't know if some of you have watched till the end, but there's a can, like a spray and cook or a spray and bake or whatever, cook and spray bottle it is. I don't know what it is. It moves, but he uses a green screen suit to do that movement. He grabs it on the lid and moves it. So I'll show you, and you see similar artifacting happening in that situation. So you have these two types of artifacting happening, but you just need to know when to tell them apart. Because if you look at it in this way, he's using a stick in this area to move the candle. We can even move that stick up a little bit to be behind the candle, right in the middle of the candle, right there, and it's going to move it down. Now, if you look at it that way, there's no need to edit this part of the video. There's no need to add effects to this part of the video at all, right? So why is it artifacting there? That's why you need to look at the entire thing as a spectrum of a debunk. Why is this happening? I need to have a basic knowledge of why things are happening before I can say things are happening, even though they are. I don't know if I'm making sense at all. I hope I am. But yeah, there's no need to edit this part of the video. There's no need to overlay this part of the video, unless he overlaid the entire video, which wouldn't make sense if you're only keying out a green screen stick. It wouldn't make sense to overlay an entire blank of this area. Although he could have done that. So let's not rule out that artifacting could be from him overlaying two images. But why I say he didn't do that is because you have the glow on the hand when the candle stops moving. When the candle stops moving and it's not fighting wind resistance anymore, the flame can now expand and you start seeing the glow on the hand. that would be very difficult to achieve for someone with his skills. But I have to also say, he's getting better at what he's doing. From his earlier work up until now, it's getting better. But it could be that he cut this part out over here so that he can have the glow of the candle on his hand, but then this part over here was cut out to here, down here, this way. It could be. But that's why I sometimes say I don't understand why people fake the way they do, because it doesn't make sense. So I don't know what to think about this part of the video. Is this artifacting just on the camera itself, or was it an edit? I'm not sure on that. Am I sure that this is an edit? Yes. Am I sure that this is an edit? Yes. And this for sure. And here in front. This is definitely an edit as well. Over here. These parts over here is definitely an edit. Is that a artifact? Maybe. Is this an artifact? Maybe. Because it's weird that that is there in the first place. So take that how you would. I'm not sure how you would take that. And then we have two more parts. One more to the candle and then one of this video. Where's that video? Hang on. Have I lost that part of the video? Okay, I'll get it. Don't worry about it. But it's this. The sound the candle makes when it slides. Okay, and this also brings up another point. Sorry. Apparently, they can see the candle jumping. Candle doesn't jump. It's this black spot here that makes it appear as if the candle is jumping, because that is the reason for people saying that they are using polar opposites of the magnet to repel instead of to attract, to push away. And that's why the candle's not jumping, ladies and gentlemen. That candle, it's just these spots that makes it appear that it's jumping. But also look in what direction it's moving. It's not moving straight. It's kind of curving. Which will play into the fact that he used a green screen stick way better. It's kind of curving with that motion of the stick. It's not jumping. So the sound I wanted you to hear there, I've got it boosted here.
Show me how.
Gave me a bit of a fright there, buddy. This is the sound you hear. There's a stick involved. You have two sounds happening. I hope you guys can hear two sounds, because it would be pretty silly if I point that out and you can't hear it. It's two sounds there. It's the sound of the stick scraping the table and of the candle moving on the table. I might be wrong, but that's what I can hear, 100%. But that's why the comment section is there, is to argue about that. So let's look at this part of the video, ladies and gentlemen, where he's also using a green screen suit. Check this out. Spray and cook bottle here. Okay, now look at this. Do you see this weird cloaking effect thing here? I might be wrong, but that might be a guy in a green screen suit standing there. But he's not standing there, he's actually standing closer to here. It just appears that it's in the distance against the cupboard. But okay, let's focus on the lid of the spray and cook over there. I know of kids who used to sniff, spray and cook. I hope he isn't. Sometimes, I don't know. Look there. Green screen hand grabbing the lid like this and then dragging that on the counter. Look at this side over here. You're going to have the black artifacting that is a byproduct from green screens. Boom, right there. Because if you key out a green screen, which I have right now, if there's no video underneath the green screen clip, so you'll put down your main clip and then you put down my clip, which is the green screen. And then whatever, so the bottom is then actually behind. So the bottom is behind. So if I key out the green screen of the top clip, boom, whatever is below that will display in this frame here. But if there's nothing there, it's black. Now, this is why it's black. Because they've done a poor job. And it comes into frame there, black, black, black. Boom, 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 done. On this side, you can also see some artifacting. There you can see artifacting there and there. It looks like a small smiley face. Coming forward, there's more artifacting where they are grabbing the lid with their hand. And it's moving forward. And then you can see this bulging here. Around, so okay, let me go past. Look in this area now. When the bottle moves past it, it's like bulging because there's a hand in a green screen suit going past it. Now, if you do it incorrectly, you have a bulge effect with stuff that moves there, like we've seen in one of our previous videos from the guy with the sheet over the guy and you pull it away and there's nothing, but you could see like this shimmering effect because the lighting was better. It's the same thing, but just bulging. So yeah, that's typical green screen mess up. That's all that is. And that is the same artifacting that you can see here in the bulging. Let me just go again. Am I going backwards? Yeah. Go forward now. Okay, right here. Look here. Do you see that the stuff jumping around like that? There's someone with an arm there, resting on the cupboard. Now it's very, very similar to what we've seen with the candle. Look here. Look at that. Let's go back. Come forward. Look at that. Look down here. It's extremely similar. I wouldn't even say similar. I would say it is the same thing. If we go to here at the back. It's the exact same thing. Especially here. You see this bulging? Look at that. Go back. You see that bulging there? Because there's movement behind it. You can see this bulging here. There's movement there. It's exactly the same thing. So it's a guy in a green screen suit. Green screen stick. That's all that is. That's not a magnet. Oh, I had another point with why it's not a magnet. Sorry if this video is a bit long. But it is what it is now. If we look at when he stands up. When he stands up. There is no cut. Nothing from when he stands up and walks to get the camera, even though it's on a tripod. There's no cut. You can constantly see his hand and then the camera shaking. And in that time frame, if you follow the flicker from the candle, he wouldn't time it that way. If you follow that flicker, look, it's going in, and then it shakes. There's no cut there. There's nobody below there. He doesn't walk around anybody. Look. He doesn't walk around anybody. That's the corner. That's the corner of the cupboard. He doesn't walk around anybody. There's a chair standing there. So there's nobody there with a magnet. There's nobody there with a magnet. The guy in the green screen suit is down the hallway already. If you go this way. He never shows that part until the person disappears later on. So if we go down to the video to the end over here. Nope, not there. Because look, this is where the person stood with the green screen suit. Stood here with a stick and moved it this way. But anyway, going forward. And now he's going to show us down that area. Boom. They are hidden away. They are probably out that door and banging on the other door now. That's probably what's happening. They were standing right here and then ran away there. That's my opinion based on experience. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But yeah, that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.